Hi guys, just wanted to check in. I'm still struggling with the weather, so I've moved on to different projects in the house. Of the last couple videos, I showed you some of the projects I was going to work on, and let me just kind of show you where I'm at. I am currently in a guest bathroom, and a project I kind of wanted to trial is we have wallpaper all over this house, and how they applied the wallpaper was directly on the drywall. So when you try to peel off the wallpaper or use a substance to help you get the wallpaper off, it would also take the drywall with it. So we were trying to figure out another way rather than having to re-drywall the whole house. And we got a suggestion to just try drywall mudding over the wallpaper, because our wallpaper is adhered really well, so it's, you know, it's not peeling off and falling off in places. So we did it, and at first we decided we were going to peel off. Sorry, let's see if you can see some of this texture without that bright light. We started to peel off some of the wallpaper. I'll show you in here how it looked. So let me flip the camera around here. We took the top of the wallpaper layer and peeled it off, and then we got this like almost cardboard feeling paper. Okay, we drywall mudded over this, and we would get little bubbles, right, because of the moisture. And so we waited, we let the drywall mud dry and applied a second coat, and the bubbles seemed to go away. We didn't have any issue with it. We noticed that we didn't have the problem where we left the wallpaper because it created more of a moisture barrier for the drywall mud. So some places we took it off, some places we left it on after finding that out. But we did go around, and I took a spatula, and you could see where some of this is peeling up, and I just shaved off parts that were loose. And I pulled off any pieces that were loose because I didn't want to have anything that you could see through the drywall mud or it'd peel off with it. So that's where I'm at. I have drywall mudded this entire hallway. Okay, it's really fun to drywall mud with logs. And again, sorry, this living room's a disaster. My house is construction zone. We peeled off all the wood paneling over here, and we drywall mudded that section. Peeled off all the paneling over here. Peeled off all the paneling over here. Peeled off over there it was actually painted red, and I didn't like it. So we drywall mudded all over that, and it turned out really nice. My husband taught me how to drywall. This has entertained my daughter all day. I put this big mirror in front of her, and she like just bounced and bounced and bounced until she was ready for her nap. This is for our YouTube channel. Want to say hi?
Hi.
How's it going? I'm just showing them all our progress we've been making.
Hi.
She's my little entertainer. My husband showed me how to drywall mud, and it's fun, which he loved because he hates drywall mudding. And even though it's physically demanding, I thought I did pretty good at it. So some of the walls he did, this is kind of my texture. We went with the very mild texture. We were going to do a smooth wall, but because this house is old and the original drywall had a lot of uneven levels, you could see the different pieces of drywall where they were, you know, connected or whatever, and I didn't like that. So we really had to put a lot of drywall mud over that, but it turned out really good. Like, I'm really happy with the pattern. Lighting is another thing we're gonna tackle in this house because it's rough. We got behind the wood stove, and I think it's gonna look really great. And I have some paint swatches picked out. Let me show you here. Try not to make anyone ill. Can you tell I have a newborn? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 newborn things for them to play with. Okay, so let me show you the color palettes I have here. I wanted to go with a really warm gray. So I have all this pine in my house. Okay, and yes, my whole kitchen is oak. But the pine is really a warm color, so I didn't want to choose cool colors because they wouldn't go very well. So I like grays, And I decided to go with a warm gray palette. So these are the colors that all came in the swatch that I picked out. I think that one goes there. All the different intensities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the wall kind of like a medium to light intensity. I think I'm going to go with this one here. Because our house is really dark, we don't get a lot of natural light. I wanted to keep the walls pretty light because I like the brightness. Just the drywall mud alone brings. I like how light it is. So I'm going to go with something like that. Then for the bricks, I'm going to do this color here. It's called Artillery. These are all Glidden colors from Home Depot. I'm not really a big fan of that brand. I've never really used them very often, so we'll see if I like them or not. Usually I'm a fan of Valspar, Clark & Kensington. Those are really nice paints, so this is a new one. This will be the brick color. And then I'm going to paint in between the tongue and groove, kind of like what we have in this, but in the living room. I'm going to paint it a very light color to really make it feel just brighter. So this is the palette I'm going for right here. Tongue and groove ceiling, walls, and then so it's really bad lighting in here. And then this. It's not as dark as it looks. I really like the dark one, but I'm worried it'll look too black. So that's what I'm going to go with. Nice warm gray palette. And it will go really good with our new countertops. Our countertops are really golden and warm, but they also have gray. So that's where I'm going to kind of tie that in. We're also going to redo the lighting in here. We're going to put a bunch of industrial style lighting. And because it's a log cabin, we can't hide it. So we're going to do galvanized tubing or piping to run lighting. So this whole pillar here, we're going to take this pillar out. And then we're going to have a way to run the electrical. So we're going to run it underneath the floor, up, over, and we're going to have galvanized piping that will run lighting out over our kitchen island, lighting out over our kitchen sink. And then I'm going to run 3 pendant lights with galvanized pipe out this way over the breakfast bar here. So I think it's going to look really cool. It's just, we're doing little by little. And right now I've gone through 2.5 5-gallon buckets of mud. I'm using just all-purpose drywall mud. That it's called joint compound, and to do this drywall mud with, it's really easy to use. My husband just showed me, and I'm really excited. I wish I kind of learned a while ago because I could have been way more productive. You can use different methods. There's this little tray that you can put the drywall compound in, or you can put it on this kind of like little pedestal. That's what I would call it. And once you put it on there, then you use your tool to scoop it out and apply it. You can use that one, which I like better, or you can use this hand trowel. This is like a concrete trowel, but my husband really likes this technique. He was a contractor in Idaho, so he has his preferences, and I like the lighter weight stuff because I'm just not as strong as him, and holding it for hours and hours and hours makes my arm tired. So I'll kind of show you how to do some drywall mud here. Give me a second. Let me turn the camera off and I'll come back on.